So you go guys on YouTube, here's a video today of David Brett, who's come in for a lesson all the way from Sandwich down in Kent. 5-hour journey for a 5-hour golf lesson, so I'm very impressed with his dedication. David is a 5 handicapper, came down from 8 to 5 last year. Having coaching already down at Prince's Golf Club, but wanted to come up today, want to visit family, but also to help improve his golf game, and we've seen an enormous difference today. I mean, it's just lessons like this, when we see such a vast improvement, just reminds me of the importance of golf lessons and tuition, really. We've worked hard today, we've grafted well, we've worked very much as a team as well, open discussion to get David from swinging where he was, here on the left, to where now he's swinging here on the right. Huge, huge changes of patterns to get to that positional change. You can see here on the left hand side, very much across the line, super cupped left wrist, and would then struggle to find target, because from that position lots of things have to change. The club has to try and hit with a shut face because we're so far from the inside, but what's very interesting is that we actually do a lot of these movements because of a shut face. We do all of these changes at the top of the swing because of such a closed face. You can see it even there in the takeaway. So let's rewind back in time. Let's go back to this very first golf shot on this first swing. What we can't see from the front view here at the moment is David plays with a very strong grip. So his grip is super, super strong. And because of that, he does everything in his power, everything in his golf swing to stop the ball from going literally over to the left. Does everything he can. But unfortunately, because of that, he's fallen into some bad habits. So we can see here, as the club moves back, because of that closed grip, or that strong grip, sorry, I should say, the face gets very closed. Now we have to get that club hitting from the inside, because if we don't, we can't play golf. We're going to struggle. So this is where this across the line movement comes in. Most players who get the club across the line have a tendency of looping the golf club back around to hit as far from the inside as possible. Now I was measuring some of Dave's first shots, and this is with the 9-iron. His swing path coming into the ball was so far from the inside, it was measuring 11 degrees from the inside with an iron. It's a lot. And the reason for that is because the face was effectively 11 degrees closed. So we had to make that swing change, otherwise we would not functionally find target. We also saw that Dave's club would rise a lot coming into impact, because again it had to. It had to lift up. He had to get the dynamic loft aiming to the right, because if he didn't, he wouldn't find target. So, what we did first is we explained a lot of that information to Dave, and I said, listen, the reasons why you hit these positions at the top of your swing, which you don't like, is because of your closed grip, because of your strong grip. But we didn't change that straight away, because if we were just to change the grip straight away, we would have not been able to keep the golf ball on the planet to the right. Every shot would have gone so far to the right, it would have been unbelievable. So we didn't change the grip at first, because that would have been unfair. What we changed first was Dave's swing tendencies going back, getting him into a much better position going back, getting him straightening out his swing path, and getting him hitting the golf ball where his grip should be making him hit it to. And his grip should be making him hit it to off the planet to the left. Then we could change the grip. So what we did, we introduced a little bit of wrist set, a little bit of wrist hinge going up, working this club up through the body, which is ridiculously better. We then worked hard on laying the club off and really straightening this left wrist. That position at the top is unbelievably different. Look at this. Look at before. We would go under the arm, under the right arm, really deep with the club. Then it would swing around and loop all the way to the top. So once we got to the top, then they've had this little tendency of moving this left wrist in a cupped position. So we worked unbelievably hard at bowing that left wrist at the top. There, see that little movement? That is changing habits of a lifetime. That little movement there, move that arrow, that little bowing there, love it, love it, love it, love it. And as I said to Dave, I said swing left from that position. Look at that. Amazing, amazing. Then we blended that in. I'll show you the shot on this one, so I didn't show you on the last one, did I? Then we started to blend that in with a more fluid motion. Hinge up, get to top. How good is that? You'll see a little bit of Dave's old tendency here where he just cut the wrist, but we worked really hard on bowing that wrist and getting the club coming down so much straighter. And he doesn't need to hold off the finish then to hit a straight shot. He could finish position. He could finish the position so much better. Actually follow through. The grip change was quite a big change for Dave. We got the club much more in his fingers. We got the right hand sat much more on top. So the club face then didn't stay anywhere near as closed. And in fact, look at the takeaway on this one. Watch how the club head now is so much straighter in the takeaway. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Let me see if I can find another iron swing where we bowed the wrist. Great position there. Look at that. I mean, how good is that on the right side? Guys, click like on that video if you love that position at the top of the swing on the right side. All we need to do now is change Dave's characteristics here at the top. Instead of cupping the wrist, get that wrist to bow, come down absolutely on the money, and flush it. I love that swing. So much better. We worked on with the driver as well. Driver wasn't easy to change, but we made some nice changes. We turned to the top. We bowed that wrist. A little bit of a tendency there, just looping it over. Not too bad. Get that club coming in from behind and then just smashing it. We need to work more on the bowing of that left wrist at the top. That's the only thing we'd say today, is where the wrist there is now bowed, i.e. at an angle that's almost like this to that left arm. Instead, they would have a tendency of going the wrist this way. We'd cup it, opening the face effectively. When we bowed it, or what felt like bowing anyway, we kept it a lot straighter and then could turn down and keep that face a lot straighter. We then worked a lot on pitching indoors, getting some distance control numbers. We did a lot of 11-to-1 swings with every one of his wedges, just giving him some parameters on how far he hit certain wedge shots, because he said that's the weakest part of his game. So we addressed that today. We just worked on so many fantastic components to his golf swing, and I feel now he's got the tools to take this action now to the next level. Instead of just, I don't know, plodding along. Dave hits a lot of golf balls, but I don't know if he improves quite as well as he should do. Now with some parameters, I think he's going to see a awesome improvement. Well done. Great session today, Dave. Guys, if you enjoyed it on YouTube, please hit like. Subscribe to the Quest Golf channel. Comment below. What do you think of this swing change? I think it's one of the best I've ever seen. I think the difference at the top of the swing there is sensational. And we just need a bit of practice now to get rid of some of those old habits. Guys, if you ever want coaching down here at Quest Golf Academy, myself, Rick or James, you can book online. The website's straight down here in the middle. And I look forward to seeing you all soon.